Good day. In this part, we will discuss the EcoCampus TU Delft project, which we started in 2019 and 2020 as a student course. What are the mechanisms? How to use ecology and biodiversity as a foundation for our campus life? Urban ecology is ecology in the built environment, which can be defined as the whole of interactions of organisms, built structures, and the physical environment where people are concentrated. So if we combine this with design, we get urban ecology design, which gives us a tool to influence and create a biodiverse, regenerative, and resilient living environments based on the urban ecosystem. Here, a flower is visited by an insect, which gets eaten in turn by a bird. Then the bird gets eaten by the peregrine falcon in the tower. It is a classical food web of how a biologist would explain this. But what is this all to us? This wall and roof was never built to be bioreceptive or have plants, birds, insects or water. So how to deal with that? Also at city level we barely thought about ecology. Would this, for example, be an urban green valley? Students analyze the history of green parks in Delft and relation to the campus. In the first year we were not allowed to do much, so we went guerrilla gardening. In the second year, we got a few plots. Well, due to the success, in the third year, we were asked to make an EcoCampus vision. EcoCampus became officially a part of the sustainable campus. We test ideas and designs in projects like softening hard cays for riparian habitats, so birds and amphibians can go in and out of the water. In this case, a habitat map is an intermediate between the goals of biodiversity and the goals of campus and real estate. This student, for example, translated the 4 types of birds, which are birds who like forests, birds who like open grasslands, birds who like water, and birds who like rocky places, which are here the buildings. And these 4 habitats are used to draw a new map of campus for the birds. To deal with ecology and biodiversity, we introduced 3 levels of thinking, designing, and intervening. The first level is at systems level. Here conditions are created for the habitat level. Think of intervening in the water system and create dry and wet spots. At habitat level, we can create connections between different habitats. These areas appear based on the conditions we as humans can build and also relating them to the existing conditions or otherwise. The created conditions are crucial for the species which can live here. We can help the species by adding bird boxes, vegetation with food and shelter, and places for reproduction and connectivity. So how does that work for our campus here? This systems level at the scale of the city of Delft, here we see that the northern part is quite high and the southern part is quite low. In the vision making we translated this to the northern part that will be a forest habitat, the medium part will be meadows, and the southern part will be a swamp, as this is the lowest area. So it's about understanding the water system at the scale to choose the right habitats on campus. With that, we also set our target species. So the system habitat species approach works here very good. Don't forget that we also have to think about the human habitat and that humans are also species. So what does that mean for the Faculty of Architecture and the Built Environment Square? Here we combine the heat stress on the square with the trees and their cooling capacity, see for example in the top right corner, and also we link this to the storing rainwater, adding an undulating landscape so that the water can be stored in the lower parts and infiltrate. This created the excellent conditions for a mix of biodiversity by adding bulbs, annuals, biennials, perennials of local plants, but also shrubs for birds and insects, and the trees. In short, we were able to introduce a layered landscape at this spot. The different elevations meant we had also different habitats. After all, biodiversity is diversity of species, but also diversity of habitats and different genetic backgrounds. All in all, synergies in one spot. Water storage, heat stress, biodiversity, public space and cultural heritage, and research together. This new intervention is what we call our urban climate growth, and this can be used on every campus in the world. In fact, it can also be used in cities and neighborhoods worldwide. Urban climate growth offer different habitats for people and nature, connecting the systems at species level: biodiversity, cooling, water storage, and people. This is the outcome after 1 year. This spot went from the worst biodiversity spot on campus to second best. The question arises, if we can do this at our own square, why not for the whole campus? Like a synergetic wadi or biosphere landscape with a mix of native and planted species in high and low grounds. Or in fact for the whole city, a wadi city for low-lying areas in the world. There are more innovations we worked with, like this eco-ridge. It is a simple system where one digs away soil to create a bioswale, and the soil is then used as a hill for ground bees, but maybe also when making it steeper for nesting of the kingfishers. And the eco-ridge can go along any infrastructure and is a new type of ecological intervention. Another one is in the Hortus Botanicus, where we created a dry garden to show that it's possible to garden using little or no water in summer. And this is necessary to reduce the water consumption of our cities. Students of landscape architecture and urbanism designed and built it with the help of the tutors. Designing on the eco-campus also meant being involved in the vision making we already showed, and that it's necessary to think at systems level. But of course there are also other forces like people and entrepreneurs who are active in the Green Village. Our idea was also to create an innovative Blue Village in the lower parts of campus, testing ideas on living with and on the water, or a biodiversity village in the Hortus Botanicus, and a food village actually near the old 17th century farm and its grounds on which actually the university has been built. Here the Hammond farm is reinvigorated with new ideas and students building their designs. Designs of a formal garden, a food forest, a vegetable garden and an event square, a place where students and staff can go. Ecology and biodiversity and people come together, strengthening each other in a symbiotic way. Thank you very much for your attention, and please contact us for more information or follow the free Urban Ecology Design MOOC. Thank you very much.